In this video, I'll show you how to build the greatest workbench of all time. It's strongly built. Nothing has ever been more strongly built than this workbench. It's built by, I think, one of the greatest woodworkers of all time, me. The only one who could have built it more strongly than me would be Jesus. He was a carpenter, I think. He could build a strong bench if he wanted to, but I have better tools. Like my SawStop CTS, the greatest table saw ever made. You should buy one from Cavicchia. Get two. Look at this garbage old bench. It's nasty. Not very good. Terrible bench. Who made it? I don't know. Let's say Dainer. Looks like his work. Fake pallets, probably. Weak. My new bench will be much better. The best, in fact. Now, I talk to people and they always ask me, James, have you seen these other YouTube workbenches? I have. I've seen them all, and I was not impressed. Some are okay, maybe, but not as strong as my bench. I've watched every YouTube bench ever made, every YouTube video, in fact, so I'd know. Nobody knows workbenches or YouTube videos better than me. Fact. But what about Nick Padula's masterpiece? Mediocre. Cuffy's Aussie Ocker workbench? Average. The Melbourne Maker's free pallet wood bench? Fake news, probably AI. No, mine is the greatest bench of all time. Flawless. Masterpiece. Perfect. I didn't make a single error, you know. Now, I suppose you'd like some detailed background of what I'm doing here, because everyone who watches this video is going to make this bench. I'd say there's 1,000, maybe 10,000 people who have already built it. And why wouldn't they? It's the best. Of course you would. Half-laps are the greatest woodworking joint, of that there is no argument. All the experts agree. I've talked to everybody. They all say the same thing. So you should use half-laps in every single one of your projects. If you don't use half-laps, you're a loser. You should also use the best materials. And of course there are no better materials for any workbench, any woodworking project in fact, than reused bed slats. They're perfect. They just go together so easily. There's never any problem with twists or warps or bows. They are completely knot free. The grain is perfect. It looks fantastic too. And if you make a mistake, not that I make any mistakes, but if you were to make a mistake, it's easy enough just to get another one or screw them back together. I'd never cut on the wrong side of the line and make my very long half lap the incorrect width, but if you did, you'd be able to just glue another piece back on there if you like glue. I don't. I like spit. I find if you just spit on the joint a little bit, that sticks just fine. And you can just use screws. Just screws. I mean, I know there's some people who like to use glue and screws. I like screws. Especially pocket screws. American invention, you know. I'm sure that we invented it. Ohio, I think, the Kreg company. They invented pocket screws. There's never been a pocket screw used before Kreg came up with pocket screws. And the color's great. Look at that blue. You can tell a jig is good quality by the color. I honestly think that pocket screws are the strongest joints for all applications. You should definitely use them. Now, when you're building the world's strongest workbench, you will notice how absolutely perfect all of my joinery is. It's so good that my baby daughter came in to admire it and she said, "Daddy, why are your joints so good?" And I said, well, I have the best joints in the world. It's probably not something you can do, but you know, she's already cutting half laps and she's done a few mortise and tenons. I don't like those nasty joints. But you know, she'll get there eventually. She may not be as good as her dad, but you know, her grandfather's helping too. Don't forget to exercise while you are woodworking. Very important. Exercise. Most important. I exercise all the time, every day. That's how you get this perfect form. Look at that strong bench. And of course, when you put wheels on your workbench, they must be American made. Bennington Manufacturing, legends, the best. Their casters are so smart, they're called smart casters. No other casters are smarter than these, the R7s, except maybe the R8s. But these ones are the right size for my workbench. They came with instructions and really good hardware, but you know, I don't need the instructions. I'll just put them in how I need them. They're going to be hidden. You will not see my wheels. My wheels will be completely hidden. Look at those other wheels, Rockler. I'm looking at you, Ruckler. They are so easy. You just lift them up and they're up. You lift them up and they're down. Now, you're going to love this. Those wheels are the perfect height for my braces. I designed them that way. And with the wheels and braces done, you can now see how absolutely solid this workbench is. There's no wobble, and it fit in perfectly first time. I don't even measure. I just eyeball it, and it works. Perfect. Now with the mobile cart part done, we can move on to adding some storage. Form ply is the greatest of all plies. Quite frankly, if your plywood doesn't have any form, then it's not really worth my time. It's always perfectly square, and it should be perfectly square. When I cut it, it's square anyway. Some people say, James, that AccuCut isn't square. It's terrible. It's a bad tool. Lies. I've done at least 3 different videos on the AccuCut. 4, I think. Maybe 5. Maybe 10. All of them, it's perfectly accurate. You think I'm kidding? No, I'm actually telling the truth. This is a beautifully accurate tool. You should go watch those other videos after you've watched this one. Now, some people like to use new technology in woodworking. I don't use any new technology. I only use old technology. Lasers, cheating. I can get perfectly straight lines with my jigsaw without the need of a jig cut by a laser. Some people have tried to say that I use them. They just hate me. You can use them. I don't care if you use them, but I never would. The best thing about my router is it doesn't leave round corners. I know, it's amazing, isn't it? Most routers, when you do something with them, you go around a corner, it's rounded. Nope, mine's just square the whole time. That's great, it saves chisels. I buy chisels just to hang them on the wall. Very expensive chisels, the best chisels. And I never make any mistakes. I've already mentioned that, haven't I? But of course, you know that. It's true. My templates never slip. And my designs are always perfect. They never need adjusting. They're always exactly the right height. Now, if you need to adjust something, that is okay. But I'm just saying, if you follow my way of doing things and my plans, then you will not need any adjustments. The height will be exact. See? What did I tell you? Perfect. Absolutely perfect. This is where this saw needs to live, and look at that. It just slides in effortlessly. It has to get under that bench, and it did. First time, every time. And the fence, full range of movements. Left, right, both sides. This is what pre-planning does. You plan the best, you get the best. You never have to compromise or make changes on the fly. But some people enjoy woodworking because, you know, it lets them get out all of the inconsistencies in their day. Other people are just good. They're just good at the job. And, you know, I'm good at the job. Other people are good at the job, but I'm just doing this for fun. I just happen to be the best. For the rest of the shelving, I'm going to use more form ply. Some people try to tell me it's a melamine. They're just jealous. My form ply just looks a bit different to everyone else's form ply. Superior product form ply. Don't use melamine. Nasty stuff. Now, I buy only the best materials from the most expensive stores for when I'm making my bed slat furniture. But, you know, you can get yours in the gutter. I don't care. It won't look as good as mine, but that's fine. Mine always comes this way, in the perfect size. You buy the right size, you use the right size. It means I have very little work to do with the table saw, and I never have to stitch pieces together to make them fit, just so I can use up scraps. Other people might. Look, that's good. That's good. That's really good. Recycling is good, but I don't like that. I like the new stuff. It's just better. Now, I don't know about your table saw, but my table saw has lots of really cool accessories. They are the best accessories. And they deserve somewhere to live. So in my workbench, of course, there's going to be onboard storage for all of my accessories. And this will be constructed with the best form ply and pocket screws. Those boxes will be completely impervious to dust. Nothing will be able to get in there. I'll never have to clean them. I'd like to take a moment to thank my very dear friends, my close friends, my best friends, my channel members. My YouTube videos make millions of dollars, but these guys throw in a few dollars. It makes them feel good, makes me feel good, everyone feels good. So I'd like to thank them. They help me get all these very cool tools. Speaking of cool tools, the shelf pin jig. Brilliant. You know that they designed it to be used with an impact driver? Who would have thought of that? They did. It's great. I can get into all of these tight spaces. Some people like to do adjustable shelves. I don't. I just make them perfect the first time. That's where they are, and that's where they'll stay. It is most important to me that people know that this is an official Fix-It Fingers project, so I ensure that I executively sign it, but then I'm going to also cover it up behind a great wall so that nobody can see it ever again. The people will know it's there. They know I did it. The details don't matter. And in 100 years' time, someone will pull apart this bench and go, wow, this was a genuine Fix-It Fingers bench. I mean, they're going to know that already, but now they have proof. It'll make it more valuable. Millions, probably. Everybody in woodworking seems to hate making drawers. I don't. I love them. Steve Ramsey came to me and asked me, James, how do you make your drawers? I just can't seem to figure them out. Nice guy, Steve. Honest. Not afraid to speak up when he needs a hand. So he came to me and I said, form ply. More of my special form ply. And rabbits. Now, we all know they're called rebates, but just to keep it in Steve language, we call them rabbits. Or dados. Dados, as the Americans like to say. Dados. What's a dado? I don't know. But anyway, I said, Steve, you need to get onto your router table, or your table saw. I prefer the table saw. Cut some dados, and they will be solid. They will be the most solid drawer you have ever built. My form ply special stuff here never cracks, never splinters, never breaks. It just leaves a perfect result every time. And he said, thank you, James. Could I use this on my channel? I said, no. Do it yourself. We laughed. Now, regular drawers are fine for some people, but I'm not some people, and this is not some workbench. So I got these specially made. They're called push to close, I think. Yep, that would be right. Push to close. You push the drawer, you closes. There's going to be two of them, these drawers. They're deep drawers, strong drawers. They'll hold everything. I'm pretty sure I could put everything in my workshop in these drawers. But, you know, I have many drawers. These are just some of the drawers that I have. I may not even use them. But they'll be there if I need them. Look at that. They fit perfectly first time. No adjustments needed. Drawer goes in, drawer goes out. Drawer goes in, drawer goes out. If you didn't know, you have these drawers and they can go in and out, and you can push them and they'll open, and you can push them and they'll close. Push to close. For the drawer fronts, I use only the hardest and most exotic woods. I think this one is called Colombian Oak Elm. Comes up really nice. Best for the workshop, if you can afford it, which I can. For the side wing of my table, again, I made it absolutely perfectly. It was exactly the right height the first time. I used some more very thick, very strong engineered wood for the top. And my design was so good that it fit perfectly in with no adjustments needed. For the half laps, which I said are the best joint, aren't they? Of course they are. Yes, you know they are. I know they are. Everyone knows they are. I put away the power tools and just broke out the good old handsaw. 2 cuts, perfectly 90 degrees, no chisels needed. That's just how I roll. If you can, you might as well. I enjoy the quiet sometimes. If you see anything on any of my bits of wood that look like mistakes, they're not. They're there very purposely. I did them all on purpose to make the wood look better. You know, aesthetics is important. This is a piece of art. It's not just the world's strongest workbench, it's also the world's most beautiful. Other people have told me it's beautiful. I think I have to agree with them. It's just stunning from any angle. There'll be beauty shots at the end, so you can appreciate it. Did I mention that nothing on this workbench had to be sanded? It's part of my design. It was my intention that everything would be sand-free. Nobody likes sanding. I mean, I love sanding, but most people don't, so I designed it so you wouldn't have to sand this workbench. And when I got the top down, I thought, wow, this is looking really good. But then I got my African oak elm and I decided to put a chamfer, because you should always chamfer all the things. It's like a rule. I think I invented that rule. The chamfer was not very popular until I started doing it. Now everybody does it. That's fine. I take that as flattery of people copying my very exclusive style. In case you missed it, the drawers are push to close, push to open, push to close, push to open, push to close. I could push drawers all day. Some days I do. When it comes to paint, I like these stop-loss bags. They're great. I don't like waste. Wasting is bad. It's bad for the economy, it's bad for the environment. I love the environment. Nobody loves the environment more than I do. I'm the best friend the environment's ever had. I also love Workshop Blue. I think I've had this paint for 10, 20 years now. It's the best paint. Everything in your workshop should be blue. The Wood Knight says green, but I disagree. Blue is by far the superior color. When I'd finished the workbench, I stood back and looked at it and thought, you know what? It would just look much better. An improved design. Not that I need to change my designs, but this would be an improvement. If I just shaved away a few of these bits. Also, it's fun. I love using the planer and making sawdust fly. No reason, just makes it look better. Aesthetics. Now, you may not know this, but apart from being a master woodworker, I'm also a master metalsmith. I can make metal do whatever I want it to. I mean, this job was pretty tricky, holding down the table saw so it wouldn't slide around, but I was up to it. I can show you how if you really want, but maybe you should just stick with woodwork. Not everyone can be this talented, and that's fine. And now, finally, you'll be rewarded as you can see what is my greatest work. This workbench is the most solid, the strongest, the bestest, the most beautiful piece of art in any workshop, anywhere in the world. And I'm sure you'll agree that this video has been the most educational, the smartest, the bestest, the absolutely perfect complement to my architectural engineering design skills and my creative expression that I do as a hobby for your benefit. You don't have to thank me, you don't have to send me money, you don't have to like and subscribe, that's fine, I know you already have, because why wouldn't you? And you definitely do not need to tag me in social media if you attempt anything along these lines. There is definitely no need to share this video with your friends. It'll be on the front page of YouTube for a month, maybe 6, who knows, not me, probably 10. And whatever you do, certainly never, ever, ever take me seriously. Because if you have a small workshop with no space, then Fixed Fingers is the only channel that you need for all of your woodworking action. And in no way, shape or form will will there be a full-length, more serious video about this workbench coming out very soon. Don't watch it. It'll be lies. It's perfect already.
Victory!